What's up, roofing contractors? Michael Mignona here with Mignona.com. And in this video, I want to go over the most important thing you can do to increase the likelihood that you actually make contact with a lead that just came in. Okay, so we're going to go over that. And then later in the video and toward the end, I'm going to go over some really creative ways to get in touch with people and to get to people to respond to you that maybe no one else is doing right now that might work like crazy for you, and that I actually know work because I have clients that already do it. So I'm telling you what to do so you'll be able to make your business better. So let's jump right in and talk about the single most important thing you can do to get in touch with more leads and at a higher rate. And that is, you need to be really, really fast with contacting them. Don't go anywhere. I know that's an obvious thing. You've heard it a million times before, but I want to talk about it in a little bit of detail just to let you understand why it's important, because just hearing that you have to do it doesn't really drive the point home. We're going to talk about why it's important, and then we're going to get into the stuff that's involves some really creative ways to actually make contact with people that still won't pick up the phone. So if you've used Home Advisor or Angie's List or Thumbtack or those other platforms, or any platforms that sell you leads and then they sell you and 3, 4, 5 other contractors the same exact lead, those companies talk to you about how important it is to contact the lead as soon as possible so that you're not the 3rd, 4th, or 5th contractor that they're hearing from. You want to be the first. So the faster, the better. But here's the thing. Even if you are getting a lead that is exclusive to you, let's say I or someone else have set up a system that generates high quality exclusive leads for your roofing company. Even though it's an exclusive lead, doesn't mean you're the only person that homeowner is reaching out to. Think about it. A homeowner who's savvy and intelligent and good with their money is very likely reaching out to 2, 3, 4, or more contractors to talk about the job they need done. Okay, they're getting quotes from other people. It doesn't mean they're picking the lowest quote. It just means they're getting a feel for who's out there and who they trust and who they ultimately want to hire. So if they're sitting at the island in their kitchen, having morning coffee, scrolling Facebook or Instagram just to catch up with their friends and news and grandkids or kids or whoever, and they see your ad and they click it and they fill out the form because they've been meaning to talk to a roofing contractor about getting a new roof. Well, now that they've filled out that form, now they're kind of in the mindset of, you know what, I should probably reach out to a couple other roofers. Let me Google roofer near me and reach out to some other roofing contractors as well. Or let me reach out to that roofing contractor my brother or sister told me that is really good as well. I'll just shoot them a text or an email right now to let them know that I'd like to talk to them at some point. That's what people do, because they don't it's not a one and done, let me reach out to one person and then hire them. But if they send in that lead form on your landing page or through your website or something, you need to call them back within 5 to 10 minutes. Within 1 minute, it's even better. Because, think about what people's lives are like. Obviously everyone's different, but we're all very much alike in many ways as well. When you fill out a form, it means you're free enough to fill out a form. Maybe you've gotten away from your kids or the craziness going on at work for 5-10 minutes, and you're kind of just killing some time and blowing off steam and scrolling social media, and you see an ad and fill out a form. Well, if you do that and then you get a phone call immediately, you're probably still away from and separated from the craziness in your life and the stuff that doesn't allow you to focus on a phone call. So if you call back immediately, it's a much higher likelihood that you're going to actually make contact with that person that just sent in the lead form. There's data to support this. I don't remember the exact numbers. I didn't save the graphic, but it's something like a 40 to 60% increase in close rate when you reach out to a new lead within 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, that's huge. That's business and life changing if you make that improvement to your follow-up process. So speed to lead is absolutely huge. But what if they don't pick up the phone even though you just called a minute later? I mean, think about it. An unrecognized number, I get them all the time, several times a day. I rarely pick them up. It's usually always someone calling me about my car's extended warranty, or it's the local something trying to get a donation or whatever. And it's always like a courtesy call or spam or something like that. And so people aren't picking up the phone. So you need to send them a text message. Now, look, this is kind of where we're going to get super creative. We're going to start with the more conservative approach, and then I'm going to talk to you about the best practices involved and what to do and what not to do. But I also want to touch on some really creative ways to send text messages and what to send that can get people to respond much more readily than if you just sent a boring old text message, okay? But let's talk about the boring old text messages, because they're very effective if they're done right. And some of the best practices are: send a text that's short and sweet, okay? You don't want to send a 9-paragraph text to someone. They're not going to read all of it. They're going to be like, wow, this guy is on something. He just typed up like 16 chapters worth of whatever. I'm not reading this, TLDR, whatever. So what you want to do is short and sweet, and you want to do it like this. Hey, Joe, the name of the lead. Hey, Joe, this is so-and-so from yada yada roofing company. I just saw that you submitted a form on our website. I'd love to talk to you about your roof for like 5 minutes, no pressure whatsoever. When is the best time to talk? So you'll notice that I ended that sentence with, or that little paragraph, that couple sentence paragraph, with an open-ended question. When is the best time to talk? So that Joe, or the lead, has to answer with something. So it compels them to answer when they can actually talk on the phone. It's not a yes or no question, and it's not just a statement, hey, I just tried to call you. This is so-and-so from blah, blah roofing company. And then if you just end it there, Joe, the lead, is going to be like, okay, like, he didn't ask me a question. I could respond, but I don't feel like I have to. He didn't ask me a question. It's not impolite to just leave the text where it is. But if you ask an open-ended question, people are gonna be like, oh, you know what? Let me respond to that question with the answer to that question. So boring but short and sweet, open-ended question, that works really well. If that doesn't work, or even if you want to just get really creative right out of the box, you could make the initial text you send to someone a selfie video. Think about this for a second. Imagine you get a lead. Imagine you are a homeowner, okay? You probably are a homeowner, but imagine you're not a roofing contractor and you're a homeowner that needs a roof. You just submitted a form because of an ad you saw for a roofing company. And then within 5 minutes, you get a text message from that roofing contractor, and it's a video. And imagine you open up the text message and you click on the video, and it's a person that looks put together. They have their company shirt on and maybe a company hat, or maybe they're just dressed dressed and look presentable. And they're smiling and they say, hey, Joe, they actually say your name in the video. Hey, Joe, this is so-and-so from yada yada roofing company. I just wanted to let you know that I'm here whenever you want to talk about your roofing project. No pressure whatsoever. Hey, let me ask you something. When would be a good time to talk on the phone? And then you send them that video. I mean, that's awesome. They get to see you and hear you. They get to see that you're a real person. Maybe you could also mention that you're, like, if you do the video out in front of your house, or if you do it from your kitchen and your kids are in the background, that's cool too. I mean, what they'll see is that you're a real person with a family, and real people with families are less likely to be, chucking a truck, pulling into town from God knows where, and then leaving and not having a company 3 months later. So you can leverage the fact that you are a good person with similar values to the homeowner that just sent in that form. Even if your kids are making a lot of noise. Hey, Joe, this is so-and-so from yada yada roofing company. My kids are running around. It's early morning. I'm sorry about the noise, but I wanted to let you know that I'd love to talk to you on the phone about your roofing project whenever you're free. No pressure whatsoever. I don't do high pressure stuff. I really do just want to help you. Call me back whenever you can, or let me know in a text reply when would be a good time to call you. I hope you have a great day. See you later. Bye. And then send that video to them. Amazing. I mean, that is like 3D chess. No one's doing it except everyone that watches this video and realizes how good of an idea it is. But it's a big country, lots of service areas. You'll probably be the only one doing it. for that particular lead. So do it. It's amazing. There was something else I wanted to touch on, and I can't remember what it is. Oh, I just remembered. What it is I wanted to touch on, and that is, you might be thinking to yourself, when you heard to send that video text, or to even just send a text that you type out, you might have been thinking to yourself, like, is this scalable? Okay, maybe you're is this something that is going to work, like when I get really a company a lot bigger and I start scaling? And here's my answer to that. And I think this is so important to when the light bulb goes off on this. And that is the fact that you are a smaller company and you can do the things that don't scale is leverage. Okay, think about this. A gigantic company that is so bloated, it doesn't have the ability to do these unscalable sort of things. Doesn't have the ability to do these unscalable sort of things, these things that are different and interesting and that only small companies can do. So you're in a really unique position if you're someone who's maybe a one-man show, or you're a very small roofing company right now and you're watching my videos because you want to get bigger, or you're just a one-man show and you want to go from 2 roofs a month to 10, 15, 20 roofs a month with my system, which is what always happens with my clients. If that's you, do the things that don't scale. Take advantage of the fact that you're going to get 1, 2, 3 leads a day at the most, maybe at the start, and you'll close 6 to 12 roofs a month with that. But you could send 3 selfie videos a day, 15 seconds each. That's easy, okay? And let's get to the point where it's a problem. Let's get to the point where you start growing and you're like, man, I can't, as the owner, I can't send these texts every time I'm getting 10, 15 leads a day. It's just too much. Let's get there. Get there and then worry about it. But there are huge world-renowned marketers. I think it was Dan Kennedy, but I might be wrong about that. It might be someone else who said, do the things that don't scale. And what he means by that is, leverage the fact that you can still do these boots on the ground, like in your face things that these bigger companies can't do. You can set yourself apart. You can beat the big guys precisely because you can do the things that they can no longer do because they're so big. Okay, so do those things. They are insanely powerful. Cause yourself the problem of having the inability to continue doing those things because you're getting so busy. That's a great problem to have. We can figure it out once you get there. So anyway, that's what I wanted to touch on in addition to everything else, just in case you were like, I don't feel like doing the video thing, it's not scalable. That's a completely the wrong way of thinking about it, in my opinion. You should do it because it's not scalable. I'm beating a dead horse at this point. Let me say goodbye, but before I do, I want to do a whole spiel about how you can watch more of these videos. So you can always go to my website, mignona.com, and you can go to the Learn tab. I'm going to link to it below. If you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be linked. If you're watching this on Facebook, it'll be linked. You can also you can listen to this as a podcast. If you don't want to watch the video, if you're driving around and you want to just listen to all these helpful videos that I create, you can listen to it as a podcast. If you go to Apple Podcast or Android's Google Podcast, whatever thing that you subscribe to podcasts on, really anywhere you can subscribe to podcasts, the podcast is there for you to subscribe. It's called Scrappy Wins, SCRAPPY Wins. And the reason I named it that is because I do believe, and I know for a fact, that the companies that are willing to put out content or just do the boots on the ground, scrappy things like these text messages and things like that, before they're perfect, and who don't overthink things and who act quickly and take steps in the right direction without obsessing over the tiny details that don't matter, they are the companies who win, period, every single time. So I named the podcast Scrappy Wins because it's true. The scrappy companies win. Get scrappy. Do the things that don't scale. Don't overthink things. Obviously, there are exceptions to that rule. If you're like a nonprofit company that does it appeals to very high-end, hoity-toity people that they notice, you've got a backward hat on and they're not going to hire you because of that. That's, maybe that's not what you should do, but you're a roofing company. You are down-to-earth professional And you can present yourself that way without getting Steven Spielberg to film every video you send out to someone via text message. Okay, so Scrappy Wins, look it up, subscribe. You can binge on my content there on the website. If you're on YouTube right now watching this, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things so you can get notified when new videos like this drop. And as always, if you want to work with me, or if you want to just talk to me, there's no pressure to work with me. But if you want to work with me so that I can run your marketing systems for you so you can actually get these leads and then put to practice the stuff I'm teaching in this video, for instance, there are ways to do that. Obviously, just go to the link that's associated with this video. It'll be clear which link that is. You'll click it. You'll fill out your information. You'll schedule time to talk to me on the phone. You'll talk to me personally, and we'll have a conversation. It's a completely no pressure kind of thing. And that's really it. It's nothing that you need to stress out about at all whatsoever. So that's all I've got for you today. I hope this was super valuable. I love making these videos. If you ever have any questions or ideas for videos, if you want to hear me go into detail as an answer to a question you have, leave that below in the comments and I'll be happy to answer it in a future video, and I'll let you know when I do, and it'll be awesome. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Goodbye.